Welcome to Dr. Jaya's Virtual School. Like School Level 4. Academic Week 7 Concept Science. Adaptations and Extinction. Animal adaptations. Adaptations. Many organisms have special characteristics, that is adaptation, to help them survive in their natural environment. An adaptation may be structural, that is special body part, or behavioral, specific behavior. Adaptations. Adaptations are any behavioral or physical characteristics of an animal that help it to survive in its environment. These characteristics fall into three main categories: body parts, body coverings, and behaviors. Adaptations can be either physical or behavioral. A physical adaptation is some type of structural modification made to a part of the body. Animals have evolved their adaptations. Animal adaptation vocabulary. Adaptation, a body part, body covering, or behavior that helps an animal survive in its environment. Behavior, the actions of an animal. Camouflage, a color or shape in an animal's body covering that helps it blend into its environment. Environment, everything that surrounds and affects a living thing. The environment includes non-living things such as water and air, as well as other living things. Habitat, the place where an animal lives, the physical characteristics of an animal's surroundings. Inborn behavior, instinct, a behavior an animal is born with and does not have to learn. Mimicry, an adaptation in which an otherwise harmless animal looks like a harmful animal in order to protect itself. Predator, an animal that hunts and eats other animals for food. Prey, an animal that is taken and eaten by another animal for food. Survivor, survival, using adaptations to continue to live. Body parts. Body parts. Many animals have developed specific parts of the body adapted to survival in a certain environment. Among them are webbed feet, sharp claws, whiskers, sharp teeth, large beaks, wings, and hooves. Webbed feet. In most aquatic animals, swimming is a must. To aid swimming, many animals have adapted and evolved with webbed feet. Webbed feet help animals propel themselves through the water with ease. This can help the animal swim faster to catch prey or escape a predator. Also, if an animal has to swim long distances, webbed feet can help it save energy so it can swim farther. One animal that can be observed at the zoo with webbed feet is the rockhopper penguin. Other animals with slightly webbed feet, the polar bear and the otter. Sharp claws. Many land and sea animals alike have developed sharp claws. Sharp claws can be used for many different purposes. For instance, many herbivores use their sharp claws for digging for berries, roots, and herbs, or burrowing for shelter. Animals that eat meat may use their claws for killing their prey or tearing meat from their kills. Also, claws can be used to increase traction, to run faster, as in the case of the cheetah. Other times, sharp claws have evolved for use in defense. For some animals, showing of claws is enough warning for their predators or competitors to back off. Bird adaptations. Feet. Most birds have 4 toes on each foot, and all birds have a claw at the tip of each toe. However, the arrangement and size of the toes and the size and shape of the claws vary according to the bird's ways of life. Whiskers. Although not usually thought of as an adaptation, whiskers serve an important purpose for many animals. In most cases, whiskers around the face, especially the mouth area, help the animal feel its way through tight spots. In a way, they serve as feelers, telling the animal whether or not it can fit into a specific area. One example is that of the North American river otter, which can use its whiskers both on land and in water. On land, they are used to feel their way through narrow channels with a similar purpose for the whiskers underwater. They are also useful to sense prey. Sharp teeth. One of the most visible adaptations on many animals, sharp teeth help an animal eat meat. Found primarily on meat-eating animals or carnivores, sharp teeth are used mainly for the tearing and chewing of an animal's prey. Rather than developing the dull teeth of plant eaters or herbivores, carnivores rely on their sharp teeth to allow them to eat and survive. Sharp teeth can serve another purpose, defense. In some animals, bearing a large set of sharp teeth can show power or fear. Some animals that we suggest you watch are the snow leopard, cheetah, African lion, mandrill, and lowland gorilla. Large beaks. Just as in the case of sharp teeth, large beaks are often an adaptation used to help an animal eat. However, large and often sharp beaks can be a feature of both carnivores and herbivores. For instance, the large beak of the macaque has been adapted to help it crack open large nuts to reach the sweet fruit and pulp inside. On other birds, however, the large beak is used to tear meat, as in the case of the rhinoceros hornbill. The rhinoceros hornbill uses its large beak to tear meat off of an animal it scavenges, usually the result of another animal's kill. Bird adaptations. Beaks. Look at the following beaks and notice how different they are in shape and size. The beak has been adapted to assist the bird in its way of feeding. Brown keeper. Thin bill curved downwards, used to probe under the bark of trees for insects and spiders. Eagle. Short and strong beak with hooked upper beak for tearing flesh. Curlew. Long slender down curved beak for probing shoreline for worms and other invertebrates that lie buried in the sediments. Spoonbill. Long flat bill at the tip like a spoon. Uses it like a shovel. sweeping back and forth in waters to shovel for small fish and crustaceans from mud and water. Flamingo, short down curved bill for separating mud and water from shellfish and algae which it eats, uses its beak upside down. Skimmer, large bill with lower jaw longer than the upper, uses bill to scoop fish from the water. Hummingbird, long thin bill, uses bill like a straw, sticking into flowers to sip nectar. Heron, long thick spear like beak, uses beak like a spear, stabbing fish, frogs and shellfish and then lifting them out of water before swallowing them. Woodpecker, chisel like beak, uses beak like a drill to make holes into the bark of trees to get to insects. Cardinal grosbeak, short stout conical beak, uses its beak as a nutcracker to crack open nuts and seeds. Duck magnaser, flat sieve-like bill for catching fish and draining water. Pelican, large bill with a stretchable pouch under it for holding fish caught underwater. Wings and flying. Wings are another highly visible adaptation on many animals. Although most think of birds when it comes to wings, other animals like the vampire bat also have wing-like structures that help it fly. Of course, the primary function of wings is flight in most animals with wings. Animals like the golden eagle and peregrine falcon can reach speeds up to and above 60 miles per hour in flight. This flight is used to attack its prey. Other animals like the Micronesian kingfisher do not reach the speeds of other raptors but still use their wings to travel from place to place. Finally, the Humboldt penguin does not use its wings to fly at all. Instead, it uses its wings as flippers to move through the water. One point of interest with the vampire bat is that its wings are not really wings. Bats evolved separately from birds and thus their wings are structured much differently than the wings of birds. In fact, a vampire bat wing structure is more similar to the hand of a human than the wing of a bird. That's why it is called an animal. Hooves. Hooves are another body part that are an important adaptation for many large animals. In most cases, animals both hooves use their specially adapted feet to maneuver in a rocky environment. Hooves protect the feet of these animals and allow for greater mobility than unprotected feet. Body coverings. An animal's body covering is one clearly visible adaptation. Body coverings help to protect animals in diverse environments, from the land to water, from the Arctic to the desert. Mammals have hair or fur that helps insulate their bodies. It keeps them warm in winter and can protect specific areas of the body, like eyelashes protecting the eyes. Some mammals have different coverings. The armadillo has plates, the porcupine has quills, and naked skin covers the dolphin. All of these help these mammals to survive in the different conditions in which they live. Birds also have a very protective covering, feathers. The feathers keep the bird warm in winter. help it fly or swim, and help fan the bird in hot weather. Amphibians and reptiles have body coverings that protect them as well. Amphibians have moist, slick, thin skin that is well suited for the water. Reptiles have tough, dry skin covered by scales. Insects such as cockroach have coverings that enable them to squeeze into very small places. This allows them to find food and shelter. Many insects build nests or cocoons for the winter because their body coverings alone do not permit them to adjust to the cold. Many insects also have other adaptations included in their body coverings. Cells that sense light and pigments that allow some insects to change colors in order to hide themselves from predators. Striped fur. Striped fur is one variation of a special adaptation called camouflage. Striped fur, in most cases, helps animals blend into their environment. This helps the animal in one of the several ways, including hiding from predators and sneaking up on prey. Striped fur, as in the case of a tiger's vertical stripes, serves the animal by helping it match the surrounding vegetation, thus making it nearly invisible to other animals. In other animals like the skunk, the stripes serve as a warning to predators. In this way, the stripes serve as a defense mechanism. Brightly colored feathers. Found mostly in tropical rainforests, birds with brightly colored feathers are another example of an animal with an adaptive body covering. Brightly colored feathers can serve several purposes, including camouflage, defense, and mating. In some parts of the rainforest, the macaw and its brightly colored feathers can hide amid similarly brightly colored plants and flowers. The male peacock uses its bright feathers for another purpose, attracting a mate. In contrast to the male, the female peafowl has very dull colored feathers. This feature, common among female birds of most species, helps females hide while guarding their nest and protecting their young. Spotted fur. Another adaptive type of body coloring is spotted fur. Spotted fur is similar to striped fur in the fact that it serves as camouflage. Many animals with spotted fur live in heavily wooded forest areas. One example is the jaguar, which lives in the rainforest. The jaguar's spotted fur helps it blend in with the small patches of sun that reaches the sun rainforest floor. These patches, mixed in with the shade, produce an effect that highly resembles a jaguar's coat. Another animal with spotted fur is the snow leopard. The snow leopard with a white coat and black spots lives in wooded areas as well, using its coat to hide amid the trees and snow. Scales. One final type of body covering is scales. Scales serve a purpose different than that of fur and feathers. Scales are mainly a protectant from the environment for most animals. For instance, anacondas and other snakes at the zoo have scales to protect their bodies from the variety of terrain they encounter. In the case of the anaconda, its habitat is largely made up of water. In the case of other snakes, the climate may be dry and the land sandy and rocky, so they cannot afford to lose water from their body. Scales help protect the body of the animal in an instance where skin, fur, or feathers would become damaged or destroyed. Extinction. What is extinction? Extinction is the end of a group of organisms, normally a species. The moment of extinction is generally considered to be the death of the last individual of the group, although the capacity to breed and recover may have been lost before this point. Many factors are driving an unprecedented rate of extinction of plant and animal species worldwide. Although extinction is a natural process, the rate at which current extinction is taking place is clearly not, and all scientific evidence indicates that the activities of mankind are the primary engine behind most recent and present extinction events. Major causes of extinction include habitat loss, destructive change to environments or landscapes, either through natural phenomena such as floods, volcanoes and hurricanes, or human process such as construction, deforestation, changing land, use for agriculture, artificial land drainage, is the single greatest threat to the biodiversity of planet Earth and the greatest cause of extinction in our world. When a plant or an animal does not have a habitat and cannot adapt to a different environment, it will become extinct. Unregulated or illegal killing, hunting or poaching. Hunting and poaching rare plants and animals is a human cause of extinction that may represent a major or dominant factor in the decline of certain species, particularly those that are endemic to a small geographic area or have a small or a slow regenerating population overall. The introduction of plant and animal species that are not endemic to a given locality is both a natural and human process that often has disastrous knock-on consequences for local biota, often including extinction of native taxa. So, any new species introduced in a new habitat, sometimes it will have an extinction. Pollution may be a natural or human cause of extinction and can take many forms. Pollution may impact entire ecosystems, including humans. For example, the pesticide DDT, which was used against arthropods until the 1970s, but causes catastrophic impacts at all ecological levels, from the water and soil through water feeders, ground arthropods, predators, and humans. Disease. The spread of disease may be both a natural and human factor behind extinction. Many of the planet's most endangered animals are also its remarkable. Here are a few of nature's superstars from Asia, the Americas, the Pacific, and elsewhere that may soon be no more. Javan rhinoceros from Indonesia and Vietnam, numbering only 60 now, perhaps the planet's rarest large animal. It might get extinction soon after. Vaquita, Gulf of California, one of the rarest animal in the world, might get extinction. Cross River gorilla, Nigeria, just have only 300 now, might get extinction. thought to be by 1980s, and it might be now got extincted. Sumatran tiger, Indonesia might get extinction. Golden-headed langur, they are just only 70 now, they might get extincted. Black-rooted feral, it will get extincted. They are now only 1,000. Borneo pygmy elephant, they are only 1,500 now, they might get extincted. Giant panda, China, they might get extincted, they are only less than 2,000 now. Polar bear, they are fewer than 25,000 now. Human development and poaching have long threatened the polar bear, but climate change and the loss of sea ice are now pushing it onto the critical list. And Mekong giant catfish, which is just very few hundred, will also get extinct soon. Animal adaptations, like let us see few of them in their own environment and also in the new environment, how they behave. Welcome to Dr. Jaya's Virtual School. Life School Level 4. Academic Week 8 Science Concept Water. In this session we will discuss about water. Experiments with water, water cycles, how clouds are formed, instrument to measure water and weather, terms used for water cycles.
Some experiments with water. Water. There can be no life without water. We get water from rivers and streams, ponds and lakes, rains and waterfalls and oceans. Floating and sinking. Get a ball of plasticine and drop it into a bowl of water. What happens? Now observe, the plasticine would sink. Take out the plasticine and shape it into a boat. Float the new shape in the water. What happens? The boat shape will float. Water lily. Water lily. Take the lily onto a stiffish piece of paper. Fold up the petals like this. Now float it on a saucer of water. What happens? The flower closes. Observe. Floating coin. Put a coin on the bottom of a bowl. Fill the bowl a quarter full with water from a jug. Now stand where you can look over the brim of the bowl so that you can see the edge of the coin. While looking at the coin, slowly pour more water into the bowl. What appeared to happen? Have you ever noticed your feet when you are standing in the swimming pool? Do you know what happens? The light from your feet is bent as it passes from the water into the air. Time drifts by. Make a water clock. Make a small hole in the bottom of an empty tin. Fill the tin with water and stand the tin on top of a jar. Use your watch and mark the level of water in the jar at 5-minute intervals until the tin is empty. What do you notice about the marks on the jar? Refill the tin. Do the drips fit the marks you made? Have you made a good clock or timer?
Water cycle. It is always essential to put some questions when we talk about water cycle. What is the water cycle? How is the water cycle related to weather? How do land features affect the water cycle? How can weather be predicted? How do our actions affect water on earth? Water cycle. The constant movement of water on earth from its surface to the air and back down to the surface. So, water cycle is an ongoing movement of water between earth's surface and the air. The water cycle. Pretend you have a glass of water on the table next to you. Take a good long look at the water. Now can you guess how old it is? The water in your glass may have fallen from the sky as rain just last week, but the water itself has been around pretty much as long as the earth has. When the first fish crawled out of the ocean onto the land, your glass of water was part of that ocean. When the Brontosaurus walked through lakes feeding on plants, your glass of water was part of those lakes. When kings and princesses, knights and squires took a drink from their wells, your glass of water was part of those wells. About how much of Earth's water is frozen in glaciers and ice caps? Most of Earth's fresh water is frozen in glaciers and ice caps. Differences in saltiness. More salt in warm, dry places. Ocean waters turn rapidly into water vapor in the air. Less salt, less salty near the north and south poles. Less salt can dissolve in the cold water there. Also, less salty in areas where rivers, melting ice, or heavy rains add plenty of fresh water. What happens when water vapor cools? If the air near Earth's surface cools, the particles in the air become more closely packed. This denser, cooler air sinks. An area of high pressure forms. What happens to air pressure as you go higher in the atmosphere? Higher in the atmosphere, the particles in the air can move farther apart. Air pressure is lower. As you go even higher, air pressure keeps decreasing. Why does an air mass that forms over a desert have low humidity? An air mass has water vapor that evaporates from the land or water below it. So air masses that form over a desert have less humidity, and air masses that form over water have greater humidity. What is a front? A place where cold and warm air meet. What happens to warm air when it meets cooler air? It rises over the cold air and creates a warm front. Describe the formation and type of clouds along cold front. A cold front forms when a moving cold air mass bumps into a warm air mass. The density of cold air is greater than the density of warm air. The denser cold air sinks under the warm air. Cold fronts often bring strong winds and brief heavy precipitation. Describe the formation and type of clouds along a warm front. When a warm air mass runs into a cold air mass that is moving more slowly, a warm front develops. The warm air is lighter and has less pressure than the cold air mass. The warm air moves forward and creeps over the trailing edge of the cold air mass. As the warm air rises, it cools. The water vapor in it condenses into clouds. Warm fronts usually move more slowly than cold fronts. The air is lifted more slowly and spreads out more, so it affects weather over a large area. Warm fronts usually bring steady, long-lasting precipitation. Air temperatures are usually higher after a warm front passes. Temperature in a weather map. Red very hot, orange warm, yellow mild, green cool, blue very cold. Where can water be found on earth? 3/4 of the earth is covered in water. Either you can think of that as one wide world sea or 5 oceans. Name 4 parts of water cycle: precipitation, runoff, evaporation, condensation. What does precipitation mean? Precipitation occurs when so much water has condensed that the air cannot hold it anymore. The clouds get heavy and water falls back to the earth in the form of rain, hail, sleet, or snow. Runoff: water that flows over Earth's surface when it rains, flows into creeks and streams which flow into rivers. Evaporation occurs when the sun heats up water in rivers, lakes, or the ocean and turns it into vapor or steam. The water vapor or steam leaves the river, lake, or ocean and goes into the air. Transpiration: when water evaporates from the leaves of plants, it is called transpiration. The process by which a gas changes into a liquid is called condensation. How clouds are formed? How do clouds form? Cloud formation begins as the sun's energy warms water in oceans, lakes, rivers, and the ground. The heated water evaporates. The sun's energy warms the air holding the water vapor. The air rises and cools. The water vapor becomes the tiny water droplets and ice crystals that make up clouds. Describe cumulus clouds. Cumulus clouds are thick, white and puffy like piles of cotton. They sometimes appear in fair or good weather and may reach very high in the sky. Describe stratus clouds. Stratus clouds are flat layers of clouds that form close to Earth's surface. Describe cirrus clouds. Cirrus clouds are feathery, clouds that form high in the atmosphere when water vapor turns to tiny crystals of ice. Instruments to measure water and weather. What does a barometer measure? Air pressure is measured in inches or millibars with a tool called barometer. A higher reading means higher air pressure. When air pressure is low, the weather is often damp and cloudy. When air pressure is high, the weather is usually dry and clear. So on a bright sunny day, you know the air pressure is probably high. What does an anemometer measure? Wind speed is measured with a tool called an anemometer. Most anemometers have 3 or 4 cups. The faster the cups spin in the wind, the higher the wind speed shown on the anemometer. What does a weather vane measure? A wind vane shows the direction from which the wind is blowing. The pointer on the wind vane points into the wind. Thermometer, a tool that measures temperature. Hygrometer, a tool that measures humidity in the air. How are curving lines used on a weather map? A weather map uses symbols to show friends and weather conditions in different places. A key on the map explains the symbols. Curving lines connect locations with the same air pressure. The letter H and L are used to show high and low pressure systems. Triangles and half circles stand for cold and warm friends. Terms of water cycle. Air, a mixture of gases, especially oxygen, required for breathing. Gases found in the air, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide. Air mass, a huge body of air that has nearly the same temperature and humidity throughout. Atmosphere, the mass of air surrounding the earth. Troposphere, the lowest layer of the atmosphere in which temperature drops at a constant rate as altitude increases, the part of the atmosphere where weather conditions exist. Stratosphere, second layer of atmosphere 10 to 30 miles above the Earth's surface, contains protective ozone layer, that is a good job. Mesosphere, the third layer in the atmosphere 30 to 50 miles above the Earth's surface. It is marked by a drop in temperature. This is the layer of the atmosphere that protects Earth's surface from being hit by most meteoroids. Thermosphere, the uppermost layer is the atmosphere in which temperature increases as altitude increases. This is where satellites orbit and Auroras, northern and southern lights exist. Boiling point, the temperature at which a substance changes from a liquid to a gas. There is a hydrological cycle. Condensation point, the temperature at which a substance changes from a gas to liquid, same temperature as boiling point. Cloud, a group of water droplets in the atmosphere. Density, the mass of a specific volume of substance. Freezing point, the temperature at which a substance changes from a liquid to a solid, same temperature as melting point. Melting point, the temperature at which a substance changes from a solid to a liquid. Solubility, the degree to which a substance will dissolve in a given amount of another substance such as water. The sun's heat will cause water in the puddle to change from a liquid to a gas. Snow, ice crystals that form in clouds and fall to the ground. Water vapor, water in the gas state. Groundwater, the water beneath the surface of the ground, consisting largely of surface water that has seeded down the source of water in springs and wells. Rain, drops of fresh water that fall as precipitation from clouds. Sleet, raindrops that freeze in the air as they fall, ice pellets. Hail, ice chunks that fall from clouds. Thunderstorms, a storm that produces lightning and thunder and often heavy rains and strong winds. Hurricane, a severe storm that develops over tropical oceans and whose strong winds of more than 74 miles per hour spiral in towards the intensely low pressure storm center. Tornado, a rapidly whirling funnel-shaped cloud that reaches down from a storm cloud to touch Earth's surface. Blizzards, severe winter storms that last several hours and combine high winds with heavy snow. Sea breeze, the flow of air from water to land during the day. Sea breeze storm forms when cool sea breezes push clouds toward the shore. Land breeze, the flow of air from land to a body of water during the night. Peninsula, land surrounded by water on three sides, such as Florida and India. Rain shadow, the area on the dry, sheltered side of a mountain which receives little rainfall. Moisture, humidity, amount of water vapor in the air. Weather, the meteorological conditions, temperature and wind, clouds and precipitation. Name 3 ways to gather severe weather data: TV, radio, and weather series. Welcome to Dr. Jaya's Virtual School. Life School Level 4. Academic Week 9 Concept, Science Concept. Light. Light is always around us, but we don't usually spend a lot of time thinking about it. Nevertheless, light is an extremely important part of our daily lives. Without light, we couldn't see anything in our world, including colors. There would be no light bulbs, no fires, and no stars in the sky. Without light, a lot of things we do every day would no longer be possible. However, many of us don't understand how light works or what it is made of. Light is everywhere in our world. We need it to see. It carries information from the world to our eyes and brains. Seeing colors and shapes is second nature to us. Yet, light is a perplexing phenomena when we study it more closely. Here are some things to think about. Our brains and eyes act together to make extraordinary things happen in perception. Movies are sequences of still pictures. Magazine pictures are arrays of dots. Light acts like particles, little light bullets that stream from the source. This explains how shadows work. Light also acts like waves, ripples in space instead of bullets. This explains how rainbows work. In fact, light is both. This wave-particle duality is one of the most confusing and wonderful principles of physics. What is light? Light is a specific type of energy that travels in a straight line and is made up of electromagnetic radiation. Unlike most other forms of energy, light can be detected by the human eye. Light can move very fast. In fact, it travels at about 3 lakh kilometers per second in open air. Nothing else in the world, including other forms of energy, can travel as fast as light can. Our main source of light on earth is the sun. However, light also comes from other sources, such as fires and light bulbs. Regardless of its source, light always travels at the same speed in open spaces. How do I see light and colors? Understand that materials are either transparent, translucent, or opaque. Reflection bounces light and refraction bends light. Light travels in straight lines. A prism bends or refracts light. Convex magnifies and concave lens makes smaller. Properties of light. Identify objects that are transparent, opaque, and translucent. Investigate how light passes through different objects. Describe the properties of light. Shadows. Introduction. A shadow is made when an object blocks light. The object must be opaque or translucent to make a shadow. A transparent object will not make any shadow as light will pass straight through it. Transparent, translucent and opaque materials. Transparent materials let light pass through them in straight lines so that you can see clearly through them. Glass is an example of a transparent material. Translucent materials let some light through, but they scatter the light in all directions so that you cannot see clearly through them. Tissue paper is an example of a translucent material. Opaque materials do not let any light pass through them. They block the light. Wood is an example of an opaque material. Shadows. A shadow is made when an object blocks light. The shadow appears the side of the object furthest from the light source. The object must be opaque or translucent to make a shadow. A transparent object will not make any shadow as light passes straight through it. Opaque objects make dark shadows. Translucent objects make faint shadows. If an object is moved closer to the light source, the shadow gets bigger. If an object is moved farther away from the light source, the shadow gets smaller. Shadows made by the sun. The sun is a very bright natural light source. It seems to move across the sky during the day. In fact, it just looks like it does that because the earth is spinning. The sun cast makes the longest shadow at the beginning and end of the day when the sun is lowest in the sky. The sun casts the shortest shadow at midday when the sun is highest in the sky. Early morning, the sun is low in the sky and casts a long shadow. Colors of light. Though natural light appears to be white in color, there are actually several different colors that make up light. The primary colors of light are red, green and blue, and each color is composed of a different wavelength. Mixing the primary colors in different ways can create all other colors. When all of the colors are combined, the result is white light. Of the primary colors, the longest wavelength belongs to red, the second longest wavelength belongs to green and the shortest belongs to blue. However, while the longest light wavelength of all is red, the shortest wavelength of all belongs to violet. Reflection and refraction. Reflection occurs when light waves come into contact with an object that has a smooth, shiny surface and bounce back from the object. For example, light reflects off a mirror. Refraction, on the other hand, occurs when light passes through one transparent subject and into another and bends. An example of refraction is the bending of light that occurs when it passes from air into water. Sunlight often passes through drops of water in the atmosphere. When this occurs, the light may refract into the water, reflect off the inner surface, and then refract as it moves back out of the drop. When the first refraction occurs, the light is separated into the colors that compose it. During the second refraction, the separation is intensified. When this series of events is complete, a rainbow is the result. Welcome to Dr. Jaya's Virtual School. Like School Level 4. Academic Week 10 Science Concept Sound. In this lesson, we will be talking about science of sound. Sound. What is sound? How do you characterize sounds? How are sounds made? Sound movement. How fast does sound travel? Why does sound get weaker as it travels? How does sound move? How does sound travel long distances? Sound measurement. How is sound measured? What units are used to measure sound? How are sounds viewed and analyzed? How is hearing measured? What sounds can we hear? What sounds can animals hear? Sound. What is sound? How do you characterize sounds? How are sounds made? What is sound? Sound is a type of energy made by vibrations. When any object vibrates, it causes movement in the air particles. These particles bump into the particles close to them, which makes them vibrate too, causing them to bump into more air particles. This movement, called sound waves, keeps going until they run out of energy. If your ear is within range of the vibration, you hear the sound. How do you characterize sounds? What are the differences between the sounds that different people make? When we talk about loud or soft, scientists talk about the intensity or amplitude of the sound. When we talk about the pitch of a sound, scientists use the word frequency. Our ears are not sensitive to some of the characteristics that scientists use to describe sound. One important characteristic that we cannot hear is the wavelength of the sound. However, you can see the wavelength of a water wave. It is the distance from the top of one wave to the top of the next wave. You cannot see the wavelength of a sound wave. Because sound travels in a wave, we can relate the words that scientists use to describe sound to a picture of a wave. How do wind instruments make sound? In wind instruments like the flute and trumpet, vibrating air makes the sound. The air particles move back and forth, creating sound waves. Blowing across a flute's blow hole sets up slinky like waves in the tube. In the clarinet, a vibrating reed, a thin piece of wood set in the mouthpiece, gets the waves started. Different pitches are played by pressing keys that open or close holes in the tube, making the air column inside the tube longer or shorter. Longer air columns produce lower pitches. How do string instruments make sound? String instruments are played by pressing the fingers down on the strings. This pressure changes the string's length, causing them to vibrate at different frequencies and making different sounds. Shortening a string makes it sound higher. Strings produce different sounds depending on their thickness. How are sounds made? Sounds can be made by vibrating an object. For example, when a drumstick hits a drum, the flexible skin of the drum vibrates up and down. The skin's vibration makes a sound by moving the air above it. When the skin moves up, the air above it is compressed, and when the skin moves down, the air moves it with it and expands. The compressing and expanding of the air produces differences in air pressure. The air pressure differences in the air move away from the drum surface like ripples in a pond, creating a sound wave. This is how the drum produces a sound that we can hear. Sound movement. How fast does sound travel? Why does sound get weaker as it travels? How does sound move? How does sound travel long distances? How fast does sound travel? We know that sound travels. How fast does it travel then? Sound travels about 1500 meters per second in seawater. That's approximately 15 football fields end to end in 1 second. Sound travels much more slowly in air at about 340 meters per second. Only 3 football fields a second. What makes the sound speed change? Temperature, salinity, and pressure. Why does sound get weaker as it travels? If you want sound to travel a long distance, it needs to start out loud. If we go back to the image of sound as a rock thrown into a pond and look at the pond from the side, you will notice that the wave gets smaller as it moves away from the place where the rock fell. The wave gets smaller because it spreads out, spreading loss, and because of the sound energy is absorbed by seawater. How does sound move? When you shine a flashlight, the beam of light travels in a straight line in the direction you point the flashlight. In the simplest situation, sound travels in straight lines. In the ocean, however, interactions between the sound and water make the transmission of sound much more complicated. These effects include reflection, bending, refraction, and scattering. Sound measurement. How is sound measured? What units are used to measure sound? How are sounds viewed and analyzed? How is hearing measured? What sounds can we hear? What sounds can animals hear? How is sound measured? Just as microphones are used to listen to sound in air, devices called hydrophones are used to listen to sound underwater. Microphones convert sound in air into electrical signals. The electrical signals can then be amplified, recorded, played back over loudspeakers, and transmitted over telephone lines. The electrical signals can also be used to measure the characteristics of the sound, such as amplitude and frequency. What units are used to measure sound? The sciences involve quantitatively measuring properties of the natural world. There are common units for distance, weight, mass, time, and temperature. In the same way, there is salinity can be measured and frequency can be measured. Now, frequency is measured as 1 hertz, that is 1 cycle per second, a measure of frequency, and kilohertz. The pressure can be measured. 1 pascal, PA, a measure of pressure, and micropascal, commonly used when measuring sound pressures. 1 atmosphere, and then intensity can be measured, decibel, a measure of the intensity of a sound. How are sounds viewed and analyzed? Most natural sounds have multiple frequencies and intensities that change over time. Scientists and musicians often use graphics to display the components of present in sound. Each sound may be displayed as a frequency spectrum, a waveform, and spectrogram. How is hearing measured? Hearing is an important sense for most animals. However, all animals do not hear all sounds. For example, humans cannot hear the sound a dog whistle makes, but dogs can hear that sound. The sounds animals hear best are critical for survival, like the sounds of predators, prey, and mates. You may have had a hearing test. The person being tested sits in a very quiet room with headphones. Sounds are played at different frequencies and intensities, and the person indicates when they hear a tone. This is called a behavioral hearing test. What sounds can we hear? What sounds we can hear depends on the frequency and intensity of the sound and an individual's hearing sensitivity. What sounds can animals hear? Many species differ in their ability to hear at any one frequency. Scientists and audiologists often display hearing abilities as a curve or audiogram, a graph of intensity versus frequency. Can sound travel under the water? Yes, sound can travel under the water. It moves 4 times faster through water than through the air. It can traverse such long distances that whales can hear each other when they are nearly 100 miles apart. Is there sound on the moon? No, there is no sound in space. Sounds need something to travel through, like air or water. What is the speed of sound? Sound travels through air at 1120 feet, that is 340 meters per second. Welcome to Dr. Jaya's Virtual School. Like School Level 4. Academic Week 11, Science Concept, Magnetism. What is a magnet? Any material that attracts iron or steel, can be permanent or temporary. Permanent magnets always display characteristics of magnetism. Temporary magnets can be turned on and off. Magnetism basics. Magnets can be made in a variety of shapes, but all magnets have 2 poles, north and south. Opposite poles attract. This shows the magnetic fields of a bar magnet. It is 3-dimensional around the magnet. Like poles repel. What are the characteristics of magnets? It has north and south poles. It is 3-dimensional field of attraction. and it can transfer magnetic properties. Uses of magnets in everyday life. We do use magnets in cars, in power locks, and in homes, in doorbells, microwaves, TVs, refrigerators, earrings, electricity, and in schools, whiteboards. Enduring understanding. Generalizations. A magnet pulls on all things made of iron. A magnet pushes or pulls on other magnets. Objects can be electrically charged. An object that has been electrically charged pulls on all other uncharged things and may either push or pull other charged objects. Conceptual terminology for magnets. Force, force field, magnetism, charge, electricity, electric, discharge, magnet, attract, repulse. In short, why do magnets attract some metal objects but not all of them? A magnet pulls on all things made of iron without touching them, results in motion. Magnets attract some metals, not all of them. Magnets have a force field and poles that determine how a metal affected by the magnet will behave within its field. An object that has been electrically charged pulls or pushes on all charged objects that results in motion. Electrical charges can result in attraction, repulsion, or electrical discharge. Types of magnets. There are various types of magnets depending on their properties. Permanent magnets. These are the most common type of magnets that we know and interact with in our daily lives. For example, the magnets on our refrigerators. These magnets are permanent in the sense that once they have been magnetized, they retain a certain degree of magnetism. Permanent magnets are generally made of ferromagnetic material. Such material consists of atoms and molecules that each have a magnetic field and are positioned to reinforce each other. Where does it come from? Magnets come from nature. Man-made materials from ceramic, alnico, that is aluminum, nickel and cobalt, flexible rubber-like material, and also created by using current, that is electricity. There are various shapes and configuration of permanent magnets. Permanent magnets can be made into any shape imaginable. They can be made into round bars, rectangles, horseshoes, donuts, rings, discs, and other custom shapes. Demagnetization. Demagnetization can take place for the permanent magnets in different ways. By heating. Heating a magnet until it is red hot makes it lose its magnetic properties. Contact with another magnet. Stroking one magnet with another in a random fashion will demagnetize the magnet being stroked. Hammering or jarring will loosen the magnet's atoms from their magnetic attraction. There are temporary magnets too. Temporary magnets are those that simply act like permanent magnets when they are within a strong magnetic field. Electromagnets. Had it not been for electromagnets, we would have been deprived of many luxuries and necessities in life, including computers, television, and telephones. Superconductors. These are the strongest magnets. They don't need a metal core at all, but are made of coils of wire made from special metal alloys which become superconductors when cooled to very low temperatures. Forces of nature. The two kinds of forces we are commonly aware of, gravitational and electromagnetic. Welcome to Dr. Jaya's Virtual School. Light School Level 4. Academic Week 12 Science Concept Energy. What is energy? Does your body use energy? When? Where does your energy come from? How do plants grow? What do they need in order to grow and be healthy? How do animals, other than humans, grow? What do they need in order to grow and be healthy? How does your body grow? What do you need in order to grow and be healthy? Forms of energy. Mechanical energy, thermal energy, chemical energy, and electrical energy. Experiment. Listening to sound. Sound energy is mechanical energy. The following explanation is a simplification of the process of hearing sound. Sound waves, vibrations, move through the air, reach the ear, then vibrate thinner ear. This is where the sound amplification takes place and we hear sound. Hands clapping, ringing a bell. Turning on the light switch is a electrical energy. Moving their bodies is a mechanical energy. Jumping in place, rubbing hands together is also a mechanical energy. Domino effect, mechanical energy. Set up a row of large unit blocks and demonstrate chain reaction by pushing them over. Energy conversions. Rubbing hands together, mechanical into thermal. Rubbing your hands together creates friction. Whenever two things create friction, heat is created. Running in place, mechanical into thermal. You run is a mechanical energy and your body begins to increase in temperature is a thermal and create body heat. Dynamo flashlight, mechanical into electrical. Pumping your hand on the handle, mechanical, moves gas inside the flashlight is a mechanical to mechanical. The gas sprang an electrical current is a mechanical into electric, and the light turns on as long as you continue to pump the handle. Heating water on a hot plate, electrical into thermal. The hot plate uses electricity, electric energy. As the water molecules are excited, mechanical energy, and the water becomes hot is thermal energy. Boiling water in a kettle, thermal into mechanical. The boiling water, thermal energy, forces steam, chemical energy, through the whistle on the kettle and produces a sound which is a mechanical energy. Potential energy. Everything in the world has potential energy that can be converted into usable forms of energy. Your body, for example, has potential energy. It can move objects, squeeze flashlight handles, jump in the air. Here is another way to think about potential energy. Food has potential energy stored inside of it. We eat the food and are able to run, jump and think. The sun has potential energy and it can heat objects that absorb its energy. Possible prompt questions for the students. What happens to the candle as it burns? The wax melts and forms a puddle at the base of the wick. What is the wick doing? The wick is fueling the flame. The wick wicks up the wax from the melted puddle. The wick, through wicking up the wax, keeps the combustion reaction happening. How does the wick stay lit? The wick stays lit because it is coated in wax. What happens if we cover the candle with a glass jar? The flame will die out. It needs the oxygen from the air to keep lit. Keep burning, continue the combustion process. Energy conversion for candle burning experiment. Chemical energy to thermal energy. The motion of your hand striking the match, mechanical energy. The match lightning is chemical energy. The candle burning is chemical energy. The candle creates heat is thermal energy. Jump in the air, mechanical energy to mechanical energy. Legs bend, mechanical energy, and jump into the air. Your body pushes through the air around itself is mechanical energy, and then lands on the floor and makes a sound is also mechanical energy. Potential energy, your body. Run in place for 1 minute. Mechanical energy to thermal energy. Legs move back and forth, mechanical energy. As your body is moving, it begins to heat, thermal energy. So the potential energy is your body. Embodied energy and energy fuel sources. Potential energy, embodied energy, and different fuel sources experiment. Through using cooking food and methods of cooking. Discuss different eating habits, customs around the world, and how people throughout the world use different methods to cook food with your mother. Then you will understand how the energies are used. Food and energy. How does your body get its energy? Do you get the same amount of energy from all foods, no matter what food you eat? For example, do you get the same amount of energy, amount and time from eating a bag of chips and a cheese sandwich? Which would you get more energy from? More, longer and stronger. For example, if you are going to run around the track 10 times, what might you eat if you wanted a long and sustained amount of energy? What might you eat if you want a short burst of energy? Choose what you want to eat for energy. Your body needs fuel to keep it alive and moving, and different foods have different amounts of embedded energy in them that your body converts into usable energy through the chemical process of digestion. There is a finite amount of stored potential energy within food. How do you cook food at your home? Gas stove, electric stove, microwave oven or toaster oven? How might people in other countries cook their food or heat water if they don't have access to electricity? Propane, wood, charcoal or dung? Energy stories. Diagramming energy stories. A discovery lesson. Now create diagram stories based on the following and describe the process of using different energy sources for fuel. Be creative and create your own fuel source diagram. Wood or solar? Gas stove cooking, natural gas is the potential energy source. Electric stove cooking, there are many options for the potential energy source like water, hydroelectric, coal, natural gas, windmill, oil-fired burner or wood burner. Make a story of any one. Natural gas. Find out, does anyone have a stove that uses a flame? That flame is natural gas. Natural gas is found deep inside the earth and then ends up as the flame in our stoves. How do you think natural gas gets out of the earth? Can you imagine a way the natural gas is moved from deep inside the earth to out of the earth? How might it be moved from one place to another? How does the natural gas get to your stove? You don't buy it with your stove. What kinds of equipment do you think might be used to get natural gas out of the earth? What kinds of equipment do you think might be used to move natural gas from one place to another? Do you think people help? If yes, how might people help? Natural gas potential energy source, natural gas. Natural gas is a fossil fuel. It is colorless, odorless gas formed millions of years ago from tiny plants and animals. It is located in underground rock formations in sedimentary basins. Natural gas is primarily used to produce heat. Natural gas is a non-renewable source of energy. Mercaptan, an ardent that smells like rotten eggs, is added to natural gas so leaks can be detected. Natural gas is mined from deep inside the earth, pumped out and then shipped up to millions of miles through underground pipelines to the gas supply facility in your state. It is then distributed to a regional power supply company. Electricity. Does anyone have a stove that has electric coils that heat up, or a toaster oven? Electricity is making the stove and toaster oven work. Coal is a very common way to make electricity in the United States. Coal is found deep within the earth. What color do you think coal is? Do you think coal is heavy, light, hard or soft? How might coal be taken out from the earth? How do you think coal is carried from deep inside the earth to out of the earth? How is coal moved from one place to another? How could coal make electricity? Coal can be burned. You know that? Where is the electricity stored? How does electricity move from one place to another? How might electricity reach your stove or toaster oven inside your house? Electricity, coal burning potential energy source is coal. Coal is a black solid fossil fuel formed from the remains of ancient plants in swamps millions of years ago. It is located underground in many areas of the United States. Wyoming, West Virginia, Kentucky, Pennsylvania and Texas are the top coal producing states. Even in India, we have many coal mines. Shallow coal seams are surfaced mined and coal buried deep inside the earth is reached through underground mine shafts. Most coal is burned to produce heat. Coal is a non-renewable source of energy. Coal is used to produce more than half of the electricity in the US. Coal is mined from deep inside the earth, sizzled out and carried to the surface. The coal is then shipped primarily by railroad and barge throughout the country to power plants. Since it is a very heavy, dense material, coal is expensive to transport. Burning coal and oil creates sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide and carbon dioxide. These gases are the main contributors to creating acid rain, smog and global warming. The mining technologies cause habitat destruction and loss and pose health risks, often leading to fatal disease called black lung disease of coal miners for the workers. Wood. Has anyone ever made a firewood of wood? Has anyone ever cooked food over a fire, on a grill or over a campfire or in a fireplace? People in many parts of the world use wood to cook their food. How might wood be moved from one place to another? How long do you think it takes for a tree to grow before it could be considered as good firewood? If your family depended on wood to cook your food, what would you do if all the trees were cut down near your home? What happens when you burn wood? Smoke can get in your eyes. How does it feel when smoke gets in your eyes or throat? Many people become very sick with eye and lung diseases where wood is used to cook food. Wood potential energy source, wood fibers. Different types of wood have different amounts of embedded energy. Dense, dry woods have the highest embedded energy. For example, seasoned oak has more embedded energy than pine, so the type of wood that is being burned is very important. More than 2 billion people worldwide depend primarily on wood for their energy needs, and in countries where wood has been traditionally relied as on the primary energy source, fuel wood is becoming scarce. Deforestation leads to siltification of rivers, land erosion and soil nutrient depletion. This then in turn affects crop yields, drinking water, quality and availability, species destruction and decline in species population of plants and animals. In countries wood is the primary fuel source. The amount of time typically spent gathering wood is 3 hours every day. Scientists believe in countries where wood is burned to cook food, the pollution from burning wood increases eye and lung diseases in women and children. Even though wood is a renewable resource, new trees can be planted after others have been cut down. It is important to remember that it may take many generations for a tree to grow to maturity. Solar. If you lie outside on a sunny day, how does your skin feel? What is making your skin hot? Have you ever tried to walk barefoot on the sidewalks on a sunny day? What happened? Do you think you could cook food with the sun? If you were making an oven to cook food with the sun, what would it look like? What would you make your oven out of? How would the sun heat your oven? What kinds of food might you cook in your oven heated by the sun? Where would you want to live if you cooked food with a sun oven? Solar potential energy source the sun. Solar energy is radiant energy from the sun that travels to earth in electromagnetic waves or rays. Solar energy is produced in the sun's core when atoms of hydrogen combine under pressure to produce helium in a process called fusion. During fusion, radiant energy is emitted. Solar energy is harnessed with solar collectors that turn the radiant energy into heat. Photovoltaic cells run radiant energy into electricity. We also use solar energy to see. The sun heats things on earth. Solar energy is only available when the sun is out. If it is a cloudy day or at night, there is no solar energy available. Special ovens are used around the world to focus the sun's heat and cook food. Using the sun to cook food and heat water is becoming more popular in many countries that once used wood, like India. Solar energy is a very clean energy source, producing no air or water pollution. Renewable or non-renewable sources of energy. Renewable, non-renewable. Renewable are solar and wood. Non-renewable are natural gas, coal-fired electric plants. Make a study and find out about international cooking. Where might people live who use natural gas as their primary source of energy? Where might people live who use electricity as their primary source of energy? Where might people live who use wood as their primary source of energy? Where might people live who could use the sun as their primary source of energy? Generating energy. A cursory glance or brief descriptions. Wind. When a windmill is being used to generate electricity, the wind turns the vanes of the windmill. The vanes turn a generator. The generator makes the electricity. Hydro. Falling water is used at a hydroelectric plant to generate electricity. The turbines turn a generator. The generator makes the electricity. Geothermal. The hot water or steam from inside the earth spins the turbines. The turbines turn the generator. The generator makes electricity. Solar. A solar cell is any device that directly converts the energy in light into electrical energy through the process of photovoltaics. When sunlight strikes the surface of a PV cell, an electrical field is generated, resulting in a flow of current when the solar cell is connected to an electrical load. Coal. Coal is mined from deep inside the earth, chiseled out and carried to the surface. The coal is then shipped primarily by railroad throughout the country to power plants. The coal is the fuel for a power plant's boiler. The burning coal creates steam that is used to spin the turbines and in turn spin the generators. Nuclear. Uranium is the fuel used in nuclear power plants. But uranium must undergo a process called fission in order to create the heat necessary to make high pressure steam.